Using his freedom of speech to its fullest extent, it's John James and Freedom's Pep Rally. Now, America's friendliest host, your buddy, John James.
And welcome to Freedom's Pep Rally. Great weekend, huh? It's cold. It was nice last week. And then it got really, really cold. But I've got to tell you, our road is a dirt road. We live on a dirt road. My wife says I would move because of this road. It literally, when it was warm last week, it literally was like a mud run. If you've ever been to a mud run, you know what I'm talking about. It was literally like a mud run. We were just about getting stuck in the mud in four-wheel drive trucks. Kid you not. I kid you not. And now it's... And the ruts were like, oh, my word. They were up halfway up the wheels. Imagine there's all kinds of dirt in the brakes. So now it's 6 degrees outside, and it's bumpy as hell. Now it's like riding on your typical spring main road with potholes all over it. Actually, it's not just main spring road, it's main year-round roads now because nobody's fixing up the roads. We're too busy building windmills and solar panels to fix the freaking roads. Janet Mills wants us to stay off the road anyway, to save the climate. She wants to raise our gas taxes, build the windmills, build the sunshine panels, stay off the roads. Don't drive. Stay home. They love it. They love it. They love the edicts, the dangerous edicts that your leftist friends will say, what do you mean dangerous? They're saving lives. They're saving lives. No, they're killing people is what they're doing. They are killing. Let me spell this out for you. Killing. They are killing people. Depression, alcoholism, spousal abuse, child abuse, suicides. Wow. I guess you're onto something, Johnny James. Well, yeah. I wasn't born yesterday. I'm glad I wasn't, too, to be honest with you. I wouldn't want to be growing up in this world. I wouldn't want to be growing up in this politically correct, virtue signaling. You're a moron if you don't cry and whine and curl up in the fetal position every time somebody triggers you, society. I like to think I'm a little bit stronger than most on the left who just can't take it. We've got some good stuff for you this morning. Did you know that Kamala Harris won a Kids' Choice Award? Yeah. All right. Kamala Harris won a Kids' Choice Award. The woman who loves killing babies. Oh, woman's right to kill her baby. Yeah. The woman who didn't convict pedophile priests when she was DA in San Francisco because the lawyers gave to her campaign. Yeah, Kids' Choice. Woo. The one who turns her back on women if helping the woman out is going to cost her a political position. Yeah, Kamala Harris. Yeah, all girls should aspire to be like her. What sycophants, what sickos, what psychopaths would think that? Really? By the way, that's my opinion. I welcome yours. No, I mean it. I do. 207-621-9759. 207-621-9759, the voice line. Come on in. Let's talk. Let's chat a little bit. By the way, Tested the video studio yesterday. We're all set. We're going to be doing a video show. It's a done deal. Sweetness. I may start it today. I do not know. The video show from my studio. It'll still be Freedom's Pep Rally. Still be affiliated with Legacy 1160 and Right America Media and American Women Who Bear Arms. Give you a little bit more, and maybe you can turn some of your friends on in the evening to the truth. Some of your friends who are maybe working during the day or sitting in their basement tweeting out hatred during the day. Don't know what they're doing. How do I know what your friends are doing? Oh, boy. That means I'm going to have to keep shaved and keep my hair cut. I don't know as I like that. I hate to shave. Have I ever told you that? I really do hate to shave. And now it looks like I'm going to have to. Trials and tribulations of a talk show host. All right, so the text line here is 207-441-6969, 207-441-6969. You can also use our social media, comment on there, and I will get to it as quickly as I can. So just go ahead and post, and I will see the post, and I will try to respond to it, and we may even post your post on the video, if that's okay. Even if it's not okay, if I don't know before it gets posted, tough luck. So make sure you don't mind the public seeing it on all our platforms if you post something. Most people don't care anyway. Most people get it. They know what's up. And they want to be heard. It's another way you can be heard. You can let your opinion be known by commenting on this show, and we'll share it with others. That's a way you can help out. We've got 9:20 right now, and we'll get right into it. Let's look back in time. This day in history. It is March the 15th, and this is the Associated Press.
March 15th, 44 BC. The Ides of March in ancient Rome. That's when dictator Julius Caesar is assassinated by a group of nobles that includes Brutus and Cassius. 1965, in Washington, President Lyndon Johnson urges Congress to pass an effective voting rights bill. He adopts the anthem of the civil rights movement when he tells lawmakers,
"And we shall overcome."
Months later, Johnson signs the Voting Rights Act into law, enabling blacks in the South to exercise their right to vote. 2005, in New York, former WorldCom chief Bernard Ebbers is convicted of engineering the largest corporate fraud in U.S. history. He's later sentenced to 25 years behind bars. 1964.
I said, get over there and answer that door.
All right, whatever love wants.
Actress Elizabeth Taylor marries actor Richard Burton in Montreal, Canada. The tumultuous pair stay together for more than a decade. And 1956.
I could have danced all night. I could have danced all night.
In New York, the musical My Fair Lady, starring Rex Harrison and Julie Andrews, opens on Broadway. Today in history, March 15th. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press.
Oh, it's 9:22. How are you? John James, Freedom's Pep Rally is on the radio, in the house, in your face. Who's the guy that always used to say that? Left and right, up and down, in your face. He was a radio guy. I forget who he was. He was pretty funny too, actually. I loved his voice. I can't remember what his name is, though. Didn't leave a big mark on me, I guess. Not an indelible one, anyhow. All right, here we go. 6219759. If anybody knows what's up with the Somerset County being named two-way sanctuary, let me know. Text me or email me or something. Call me. 2A. And I have yet to reach out to the sheriff of Somerset County, my buddy Dale, and see what's going on with that. But Dale Lancaster was, I guess, a part of it. It's a county-wide thing. Somerset County was going to be a Second Amendment sanctuary. We need those now. We do. We need Second Amendment sanctuaries. The Second Amendment is now coming under fire because the left hates America, and they hate Americans who are lawfully armed citizens. They hate us. They hate Americans who love the Constitution. The left hates us. They hate us. They want us to burn in hell. You think I'm lying? It's sad. It's a real sad. I'm so sorry for this country, the way we look to the world now. I am but we look so good. We have a caring, loving president. Joe Biden is a hack. He's a decrepit old hack. He's being controlled by puppeteers. He's being controlled like a Jim Henson Muppet, for crying out loud. The Muppets actually speak more intelligibly than Joe Biden does. So let's get to what's going on here. Somebody closed up all of my. I'm sorry. I'm starting to sound like a real weenie now, aren't I? Bitch. That's all you did. Okay. All right. I'm over it. I had to have a moment. See, somebody gets out of my stuff. It's my browser, and they get out of my stuff, and they don't put it back. That's what irks me. I don't mind if they use my personal Opera browser, but when they don't put it back, I'm telling you, drives me crazy. Joe and Kamala had dinner, I guess, for the first time in the White House dining room the other night. Did you know that? And the White House, the staff in the kitchen, they do everything they can to accommodate the new president. For example, every time they serve him a meal, it comes with a toy. Did you know that? That Joe Biden loves that. He loves that. And sometimes he gets the boy's toy, and sometimes he gets the girl's toy. It depends on how he's identifying on that day. Kamala always gets the boy's toy, though. Surprising. So let's start out with something a little bizarre that is totally unrelated to Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. It is related to food, and my favorite kind of food, in fact, Chinese food. I went to the Lucky Panda in Winslow yesterday. I know Mike likes that, too. Oh, you did? Get out. You went, too. I love that place. I love it. Well, but Mike and I both frequent the Lucky Panda there in Winslow, right at Halifax Crossing. So, but this isn't about them. This is about the Panda Express, which is more of a fast food Chinese restaurant you find in strip malls. They have some standalone restaurants. They have one at the main mall. I don't know if they have one at the Bangor Mall. I can't remember. But anyway, a former employee at Panda Express is suing the chain over training, she says, included humiliating cult-like team building exercises that had her strip to her underwear. This is a team building exercise for Panda Express? Really? Now, this woman's name is Jennifer Spargifiore, I guess, 23-year-old. She claims she was sexually harassed and emotionally abused during the training session with Panda Express. Spargifiore worked at Panda Express in Santa Clarita, California in 2019 when she alleges this happened. She says the company sponsored the team building training as a prerequisite to getting promoted. Well, there you go. You want to move up? Your pants come down. How about that? Now, Oscar Ramirez, who is the woman's attorney, said in an email to the Pasadena Star News that the lawsuit was intended to force the company to stop its practice of requiring employees to undergo horrific psychological damage. They make you drop trow to get promoted at Panda Express. Oh, I'm just sorry. I'm just letting that sink in for a minute. I'm trying to picture how that would, what that would look like. What kind of what do they do it in the back room at a kitchen and in the boss's office? Where does this team building go? I don't know. Anyway, employees were berated and yelled at during the training. Sounds more like boot camp. And then some employees were made to strip down to their underwear, including this Jennifer Spurgafori. So that, it's terrible. I don't mean to laugh at it because it's not, in the whole scheme of things, it's not funny, but it's a humor. If you can't laugh at stuff like this, because laughing at it, understand that laughing at it is not going to change anything, but it's kind of humorous to picture, don't you think? And I think it's horrible, by the way. I think it's absolutely atrocious that they would do this. But just relating it to you is kind of funny. And speaking of funny and how seeing the humor in things sometimes will help you survive and get through the day, there are, you know what? One of the big problems with progressive leftists is they are humorless. They are absolutely 100% undeniably, unequivocally humorless. Unless it's something that just isn't funny, but it's politically correct. Oh, did you hear the one about Joe Biden? Oh, he walked into dinner with his shirt wasn't tucked in. Oh yeah, that would be funny. There you go. There's a leftist guffaw right there. No, I'll tell you what's funny. I'm telling you what's funny right now. Comedian Bill Burr, now he is funny. And the left hates him. Boy, did he piss them off at the Grammy Awards. I love it. I've got sound here. Now, had I known that Bill Burr was going to host the event, I might have actually spent time watching it. Otherwise, I couldn't care less about the Grammys or any other tired, self-absorbed awards show. In fact, when I worked for the Top 40 station, it was almost a requirement that I watch at least some of the Grammy Awards because the audience will want to hear about it. Really? Is my audience on the radio that shallow? Maybe I'm in the wrong business. Maybe I'm in the wrong type of radio. So here I am today, where I ought to be, where I want to be, because I can make fun of those types of people. Oh my God, the Grammys and the Emmys and the Oscars. Oh, I cannot talk to you while they're on. I've got to stay glued to my set. These are self-worshiping, self-righteous losers, all of them. The musicians, the Hollywood actors. In fact, I've got a great piece on Hollywood actors you're going to want to stick around for, too. And it is done by a guy named J.P., and I forget his last name. J.P. Sears. J.P. Sears. He got long hair. He's just amazing. He is so good. He does videos. So I've got a piece by him on the Hollywood elite coming up. But I want you to hear some of Bill Burr at the Grammys because this is great. Bill Burr at least made it entertaining. Even though he made people mad in the process by unapologetically mocking. Now, there was a piano piece, and my word, it was like in radio, if we had to play this in radio, we call it a death ballad. It's a death ballad. It's like, oh my. Listen to Bill Burr's reaction to this performance on the Grammy Awards as he hosts the Grammy Awards. I love this. And I know I'm righteous because the left hated it. Here it is. What is that? Oh, my word.
Thank you, Igor, for that sublime performance. I feel like I'm in a virtual heaven. And now let's mingle and jingle with the stand-up comedian who taught us on Netflix that F is for family. He's nominated for his first Grammy this year in the Best Comedy Album category. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Bill Burr.
Okay, thank you, Janae. How are you? Was I the only one who wanted to kill himself during that piano solo? I bought a suit for this. I thought I was going to be on TV. I'm such a moron. I am losing so much money right now.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You know, you know why it's funny? Because it's what anybody who heard the piano solo was thinking. Very, very politically incorrect to say. He said it. Okay, here's a lesson for the lefties. That is comedy. That is hilarious. Well, I don't see that. I think that's just horrible. Well, okay. All right. Well, go back to sleep. Go sit in your rocking chair and watch something that will not offend you, like CNN or MSNBC. Now, another woman had her name butchered. I would have butchered it too. And here's Bill Burr butchering Natalia. I don't know. I'm going to say Natalia Lafourcade. That's probably not right. But Bill Burr, clearly, maybe he should have researched it. I don't know. But it's funny. Here's Bill Burr.
Hey, Natalie what? All right. And the winner, the Grammy goes to Natalia Lafourcade. Oh, wait a second. Dude, I will accept on behalf of her. If I butchered her name, I'm sorry.
Yes, he said he's sorry for butchering. Natalia Lafourcade. Now he should have been more respectful. I will admit that. Because listen, here's what Natalie Lafourcade played or sang. She's a good singer. She doesn't sing in English. She sings in Spanish. She was on an NPR Music Tiny Desk concert. So she's like an NPR. They adore her at NPR. NPR, in fact, calls her the 21st century's guardian of cultural memory. Wow. Here she is.
All right. Hey,
Whoa, no. That's not. Do we have Natalia here? I want Natalia. Where's Natalia? I thought we had Natalia. I thought we had a little music by Natalia. Oh, good grief. You're kidding me, right? We don't?
Even the Republicans are out of power right now.
Okay. All right. No, apparently we don't. I thought we did. No, we missed it? Great. Okay, fine. Well, we had the audio. Anyway, she's a singer. She's very, very pretty. She reminds me of a Spanish Diana Krall. If you've ever heard Diana Krall sing, whoa, hold me back. I love her. And I would love this. I mean, she sings very well, Natalia does, but I don't. I flunked out on Spanish class. So Bill Burr did it again. He called himself out as a white cisgender, basically anti-feminist.
Even the Republicans are out of power right now. The use of...
No. That is not Bill Burr. That is Brian Stelter, Humpty Dumpty. We'll get to him. Okay. Bill Burr.
All right. Hey, how many feminists are like going nuts? So why is this cis white male doing all this Latino stuff?
All right. There he is. Bill Burr. And again, had I known he was hosting, I would have watched just for him. I guess Beyonce was the big winner. Woohoo! Good for her. Good for her. My paycheck will neither rise nor fall as a result of her Grammy Award. Good for her. 9:37 here. We've got to take a break. We'll be right back. I'm John Jones.
Legacy 1160. WSKW.
Hi, this is Tony Esposito from Rockland Ford. This year has been crazy, and it has majorly affected the car market. Here's what you need to know. COVID has slowed down new car supplies to a trickle, and factories are still shutting down because parts aren't available. Now, what does that mean for you? That means that your used car has never been worth more. In fact, it might be worth more than what you paid for it. Rockland Ford wants to buy your car, and we are paying top dollar for everything, especially trucks. So swing by or give us a call because we are buying everything. Also, the redesigned 2021 F-150s are here, and they are easily the best F-150 I've ever seen. They have tons of new features and a great new look. You can lease one of these bad boys for as low as $379 a month. Don't forget to maximize your used vehicle's value by selling it to us. That's at Rockland Ford, home of the Rock Bottom Deal, Route 1 in Thomaston.
Lease for 36 months, 12,000 miles a year, $3,500 down with qualified credit.
Townline Antiques wants to know, what are you shopping for today? Searching for furniture to add to your home? Townline Antiques has beautiful pieces of furniture for every room, built to last with quality materials from the past. Thinking of decorating in a classic style? You'll find enchanting home decor, artwork, glassware, and hundreds more items around every corner. Do you collect books, comics, coins, sports memorabilia, watches, or classic electronics? Townline Antiques has cool, rare, and one-of-a-kind items to add to your collection that you won't find anywhere else. If you love searching through the treasures of the past, here's more great news. Townline Antiques has expanded with extra booth space. Now there are even more quality antiques to browse every time you visit. Plus, there are a limited number of dealer spaces now available. If you'd like to learn more about selling at Townline Antiques, just stop in. Townline Antiques, open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 to 5, Route 201, right on the Winslow-Vassaboro Town Line.
Not all bed liners are alike. Line-X spray-on bed liners offer protection from every angle with no lost cargo space, as well as protection from cracking, bubbling, and peeling with a factory-like finish and a nationwide guarantee. See the difference for yourself at Line-X of Augusta, 509 Main Avenue, Farmingdale, your authorized Line-X dealer. Your truck is your baby, and Line-X of Augusta has some sharp accessories that'll make your ride stand out. From truck caps and tonneau covers, Nerf bars, cargo management, towing supplies, mud flaps, and ladder racks to chrome accents. Dress up your ride today at Line-X of Augusta, 509 Main Avenue, Farmingdale.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Mostly sunny but windy and cold today. Below zero wind chills to start this morning with highs only getting into the low 20s and feeling colder with a stiff northwesterly wind continuing. Mostly sunny mid-30s for tomorrow, warming up for the middle of the week, mid-40s Wednesday, near 50 on Thursday with partly sunny skies.
Welcome back. Freedom's Pep Rally. John James, good morning. Wade, Derica, Reggie, Lydia, Elizabeth. Elizabeth says they don't know how to laugh. Angry and mean describes them. Yes! Yes! Elizabeth, you're right. Angry and mean. They're mean to the core, they are. Not all of them. I can't say all of them are. I mean, I don't believe in painting with a really wicked broad brush. Oh, yeah, sometimes, okay, I admit it. Sometimes I use a paint roller. There are different people, different walks of life who think differently, and there are actually, there are many on the left who can laugh. There aren't too many progressive leftist, virtue signaling, politically correct people who tend to laugh at that much. They are more easily offended. I am not easily offended. Clearly, Bill Burr is not easily offended either. That's why I love his kind of comedy. I love it. And he does it, or at least on the shows, he does it without swearing. I'm not a big fan of, the F this, F that, and F. Not a big fan of that. Bob Marley, I talked with Bob Marley about this one time, the main comedian Bob Marley, and he would drop the F-bomb way back. I met him when he first got into comedy back in the, early 90s, I guess. And he was using the F-bomb some. He said you don't need it. You don't need it, and it's a big turnoff, so he doesn't use it. So, I like the cleaner comment. I don't mind a few vulgarities now and then, but you don't need to be filthy, right? Bill Burr is just, I think, I'm sorry. I think he's very funny. And I know there are leftists. There may be a leftist who accidentally tuned into us this morning. You were saying, you are disgusting. You think Bill Burr is funny. You are a sick man. I'm gonna say 3 words to you that's going to make your head spin, and you'll say, what? President Meghan Markle. No, I'm not making it up. Just a week after Meghan Markle and Prince Harry went all over the interwebs and the television sets with Oprah. Those steamy allegations, the accusations of racism from the royal family. According to The Blaze, there is now a new report suggesting that Markle could use notoriety from her interview with Oprah to springboard a presidential campaign. Not lying. Wish I was. The Daily Mail reported this yesterday. Senior figure in the Labor Party, whom the paper described as a veteran of Tony Blair's Downing Street administration with strong links to Washington, said Markle is networking with top Democrats with the aim of building a future presidential campaign and fundraising apparatus. Now, all this talk, now I've got to tell you, maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I'm just dumb, okay? But I heard her talking about growing up, a woman of color. My question was, she's a woman of color? Really? Well, knock me over with a feather. She just looked like a typical whitey to me. What do I know? I had no idea. I wouldn't see color schmuller. I could care less about color, but if she's a woman of color, then I'm either blind or I'm Liberace. All right, I'm Liberace. I'm a pianist. I'm an accomplished concert pianist. I said pianist, as in the piano. So the Blairite, I don't know what the Blairite is. The Blairite, internationalist, and Democratic Party networks are buzzing with talk about Meghan's political ambition and potential backers. She could have, I don't know if this is true, but she could have the first non-citizen. No, he's a citizen now, right? Is he a citizen of America? Prince Harry? I don't think he is. I mean, even Ivana Trump was is a citizen. Was it Ivana? Is that Ivana Trump, right? Ivana. That's not Ivana. Good Lord. How quickly we forget. Dawn. Oh, man. Okay, now I'm embarrassed. Wow. There's so many names in my head. Melania. Where'd I get Ivana from? There is an Ivana Trump. He was married to an Ivana Trump, right? That's where Ivanka. So Ivanka was named after Ivana with a K. That's where that came from. So I'm not out of my mind. I just went back in time. So Melania Trump, I believe, is a U.S. citizen. I don't believe Prince Harry is. So if she gets the presidency before he becomes a citizen, she could have the first non-citizen first man. How about that? Well, he would be the first man, period. Second man. He would be the first second man. Wow. This is too much for my brain. I'm sorry. I'm going to move on now. So anyway, the bottom line is The source explained that Meghan Markle is looking to run as early as 2024, citing the fact that President Joe Biden will be 82 years old by then. Joe Biden is not going to last in office until he's 82 years old. He's not going to last until he's 70. Is he 78 now? I predict he won't be there when he's 79. That's my prediction. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that, Bonnie. Yeah, Candace Owens is considering a run for president in 2024. I've heard about that. I didn't know if she'd made any decisions or not. I would love to see that. Oh, but they hate Candace. Oh, she's not really black. She didn't vote Democrat. She can't be black. Racist. You're racists. You remember Anna Navarro on The View? Do you remember she was talking? They were talking. Who are they talking with? The communist there, Van Jones. The View. They had The View and Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg. And Anna Navarro was sitting there saying, "How can you say that you're woke?" I don't know the terminology. How can you say that you're a Democrat when you say it's okay to have your picture taken with people like Candace Owens, a smiley, happy picture. You had your picture taken smiling with Candace Owens. Can you believe that? That's Anna Navarro. So apparently, if you smile and have your picture taken with somebody who is black, then you're not really a Democrat. And Candace isn't really black because she's conservative. It's my mind games. Keep playing those mind games. It's just so stupid. It's stupid. STOOPIDD. Stupid. That's their middle name. Their middle name, stupid. All of them. Joe Stupid Biden, Kamala Stupid Harris, Chuck Stupid Schumer, Nancy Stupid Pelosi. They're all stupid is their middle name. 9:50 here on Legacy 1160 WSKW. One of my favorite people is 17-year-old phenom Savannah from The Savvy Truth. Had her on this show last week. Was it last week she was on? Or the week before, talking about her experience at CPAC, probably a week before last. Well, she, last week for her show, she does a Tuesday night show on Right America Media. And last week she had a great guest who just did a movie called Roe v. Wade. Now, Savannah is a born-again Christian, so she is all over stuff like this. I'm not saying you have to be a born-again Christian to be against abortion, because you don't have to be a born-again Christian to understand that killing is illegal and killing is not right. Well, abortion is killing. So she did the interview with and I just want to make sure I get the name right. He was awesome. He was absolutely awesome. Nick Loeb. Nick Loeb is the guy who is in the film. And it's the story behind the controversial 1973 court case over the issue of abortion. Do we? Oh, we have a little piece.
Wade, in the grand scheme of things, is not that important.
I understand the importance that people attach to the Roe v. Wade decision.
Real history of the 1973 Roe v. Wade abortion decision.
The Senate has just confirmed.
Brett Kavanaugh is officially confirmed.
That will flip the decision.
We have been in our second civil war for over 50 years now.
A bunch of disorganized men are going to rid this country of abortion restriction.
Anyway, so there's a little bit of what the trailer looks like, it looks like it's going to be really good. John Voight's in it. John Schneider is in it. Nick Loeb, who was on with Savvy last week, is in it. And Savannah Truth, going into that particular show, did a story about the just canceled Dr. Seuss. Actually, it wasn't a story. It's more of a poem that Savvy recited. She's awesome when it comes to reciting things and just speaking, shooting from the hip, basically. She is pretty amazing. Here she is. Here is her ode to Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss is racist, though, so nice job, folks. I looked and read. The book was just simply splendid. Not one vicious word to make me offended. The grammar was childlike. The rhymes were quite plain. I did not see a problem, and I did not complain. The pictures were whimsical, the characters unique. A book for the young. Where is the crime that they speak? A cat in a hat, an elephant of blue. One fish, two fish, and Cindy Lou Who. The Grinch that stole Christmas with its clever old villains. You did not speak out when Hollywood made millions. 60 books to his name for 84 years. The whining and crying, the left sad and in tears. With no life to enjoy, they find someone else to blame, someone to hate, and someone to shame.
Isn't that right?
You only hate Trump, I do not condone. You whiny little snowflakes, leave Dr. Seuss alone. I do not like your mental haze. I do not like your leftist ways. I do not like your son on blow. I do not like you, President Joe. In case you're keeping score, you can still find Hitler's Mein Kampf on Amazon, but you cannot find The Cat in the Hat. If we do not get this train back on track, we are going to be in real trouble, folks.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, she's 17 years old. She knows more than any far leftist I know. Any progressive leftist who is just completely off the rails. And I invite you, if you're a leftist and you want to stand up for, you want to stand against what I'm saying, call me up. I'll let you have airtime. And of course, I'm going to respond. I'm going to respond to you. But I'll let you talk. I'll let you say what you feel. Get it out. You want to blow up? Get it out. Get it all out there in the open. It'll feel better. I know you've got rage building up. That's how you live your life. You live your life in rage by everything we say, everything we do, everything we believe in. You hate and you rage about. Just because rage is like fuel. I really believe rage is like your fuel. It is your accelerant. Hey, Mark. Welcome to the show. Hi, Casey. Welcome. We got 9:56, and we've got more coming up after the news. A lot more coming up, including Kamala's award from the children. The children. She is a fighter for children. Well, except for unborn babies. And except for children who were abused by the clergy. Other than that, she is a champion of the children. Go, Kamala! Every young woman should aspire to be like her. God help America.
WSKW, Legacy 1160.
St. Patrick's Day is one of the most celebratory days of the year. But if you're planning on safely enjoying a drink with others, make sure you're protecting your friends, family, and community by planning ahead. If you do intend to have a drink, remember that it's never a good idea to drink and drive. Instead, make the right call by designating a driver or calling a cab. That way, everyone returns home safely. This message brought to you by Delta Ambulance. Compassion, leadership, excellence. That's Delta Ambulance.
What's important here at Moody's is we have a lot of opportunity for upward mobility.
Moody's definitely helped me through. They sent me to school. I got my degree in business. I had the demeanor and I had the willpower and the want.
Our trade is constantly changing and there's always new challenges that arise.
I definitely feel like an owner. It's very exciting.
When you like what you do, you like your job, you like the people you work with, what else could you ask for?
Bring your skills to Moody's and build a long-term future with us.
Incense and Peppermints doesn't just have a huge selection of scrumptious candies. They have sweet treats that'll bring back wonderful memories every time you share them. Incense and Peppermints has candy that's fun for the whole family, like Jelly Bellies, Smarties, Turkish Taffy, Mellow Cups, Laffy Taffy, and Necco wafers. And candy that'll take you on a trip down memory lane, like old-fashioned penny candies, root beer barrels, atomic fireballs, Mary Jane's Bit of Honey, and Jawbreakers. They even carry Maine favorites like Moose Poop and Saltwater Taffy. Incense and Peppermints, 48 Main Street in downtown Waterville.
This is Molly from Rod Cyclin RV. We're about a year into the pandemic, and we're all searching for some sort of normalcy. Picture yourself sitting by the campfire with friends and family, your favorite drink in hand, sharing stories and laughing. I bet you thought of a specific night. We want to help you find your normal. We have a large selection of new and pre-loved travel trailers and fifth wheels, fully stocked parts store, and the best camper service around. Rod Cyclin RV, Route 201 Madison, or online at rodcycleandrv.com. We're not trying to be the biggest, but always trying to be the best.
Well, good morning. It's 9:59. Just checking my friends list here. I'm sorry. Thank you. I got a couple more requests, and you can request, but I can't accept because Facebook has the 5,000 limit, and I'm sorry about that. I really am. And apparently I haven't ticked off any left-wing nut jobs enough to unfriend me, which means I'm not trying hard enough. So next hour, well, it's a new hour. Stick around. We'll be talking Kamala Harris. We'll be talking how Democrats hate Americans and more coming up.
From the Home Auto Group Studios, Farmington Ford and Franklin Chrysler in Farmington. This is WSKW, Skowhegan, Augusta, Waterville, Legacy 1160.
ABC News, I'm Andrew Dimber. Sunday was another day of more than 1 million air travelers. The TSA says it screened over 1.3 million flyers. People are traveling more as vaccinations pick up. Anyone over 50 is now eligible for a vaccine in Texas. Same with anyone over 60 in Florida. ABC's Alex Stone is in Los Angeles, says the state is beginning to reopen.
It was a year ago that restaurants first had to shut down indoor dining. They briefly reopened, then had to close indoor dining again last year. Today, they can have indoor dining here in LA and Orange counties, plus gyms, breweries, wineries, and museums can reopen with limited capacity, but there is a feeling of normalcy beginning to return for the first time in a year.
Advocates are warning of overcrowding at facilities housing migrant children. Almost 4,300 are currently being held as FEMA is working on finding more shelter. Jury selection continues today in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, charged in George Floyd's death. This is ABC News. For the fourth time in 2 years, Israel is heading into a national election.
With just 8 days left until the election, polls here in Israel once again showing no clear winner. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his allies falling short of the seats needed to win a clear majority. The longtime Israeli leader facing for the first time formidable challengers from within the right-wing camp. But they also lack a majority, even if they join a coalition with the center-left. Netanyahu staking his re-election on the successful COVID-19 vaccination rollout, his opponents reminding voters he is on trial for corruption. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
And you can now get a job landscaping in a place where there is no land at all. A British company is looking to hire someone to help with landscaping in Minecraft. The idea, to give advice to players about decorations. The requirements include being passionate about gardening and the game. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's time for the truth, and you found the home of it right here.
Can anyone tell me what Kamala Harris stands for? What principles matter most to her? She has gone after power her entire career. She's done whatever she wanted to do to get to the top. Whatever is politically expedient, that's where she goes. We see an overall lack of character and integrity in her career, and that's something that no young woman should emulate.
Here's your truth-telling, freedom-loving, flag-waving host, John James.
Hey! 10:03. Kamala. How about Kamala? Whoa, yeah. All young women should aspire to be like her. Did that sound insincere? I guess it was. It's 10:03. And I told you we'd talk about Kamala. And we will. And we are. In fact, I've got a couple of things about Kamala here this morning that I think you're going to find kind of intriguing. Let me see. Where do we start? Do we want to start at her award? Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll start it. We'll start with her award. She should have gotten slimed. Jennifer Garner praised. She is an idol. She is a power woman. Kamala, baby killer, child abuse ignorer. Me too. Only if I don't have a chance at power. Vice President Kamala Harris. Jennifer Garner declared that Kamala has a lifetime of being a champion of kids and family issues. And she was telling this to kids. There you go. Lie to the kids. That'll work. You know, it does work. I mean, look, climate change, 120 genders. The kids believe it. Look at how brainwashed they are. You're brainwashing them. And so Jennifer Garner does more of it. Oh, she's a champion for children. Yeah, right. That's a good one, Jennifer. I'd say wake up, but yeah, you identify as woke. So I guess. Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards happen on Saturday. And Jennifer Garner fawned over Kamala Harris for the love in her heart. Said she was always looking out for the underdog. How about Tara Reid? Tara Reid, who accused Joe Biden of rape. How about that underdog who Kamala said, I want to hear her story. She deserves to be heard until she had a chance to ascend to power. And then she forget Tara who? Or the children who were violated by the priesthood in San Francisco. But the priest's lawyers gave money to Kamala's campaign. So what pedophilia are you talking about? That Kamala, I care about kids, Harris. The Kamala, it should be a woman's choice to kill her baby. That Kamala, are we talking about the same Kamala Harris here? Or is there like somebody else named Kamala Harris? Is there a doppelganger? Maybe there's a doppelganger who really does care about kids, but it's not Kamala. No. She talks the talk, but she doesn't walk the walk. And she doesn't talk the talk well. We could play situations where she's talking the talk and other situations where she is just doing the exact opposite, where she is being a hypocrite on her own so-called or supposed stances. Let's face it, there is no bigger underdog than an unborn baby at a Planned Parenthood abortion clinic. She loves children. She cares about children. Well, that is the very definition of the absence of love. Don't you think? Is that, well, that's your opinion. Is that just my opinion? Or intelligence now, intelligence put feelings aside. I know it's hard to do if you're a progressive. Put feelings aside for a minute. Is that not intelligence? That's more than opinion, isn't it? Abortion is the absence of love for the child a woman is carrying. Bingo! Nailed it! Boom! So here is the phoniest moment of 2021 so far. It may get worse. I never count out the possibility nowadays that it may get worse, but this is the phoniest and the most hurtful. This is the most abusive to children moment so far of the year. Listen.
Here with a special message for you, let me introduce another trailblazer, Vice President Kamala Harris, who made history this year by becoming the first woman, the first person of color, and the first mamala to hold this office. Becoming vice president was not only a new beginning for her, it was also the culmination of a lifetime of being a champion of kids and family issues and always, always looking out for the underdog. Like you, Vice President Harris.
First of all, stop that phony cheering soundtrack playing underneath her.
And love in your heart. So it's my honor to welcome the Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
Soon to be president.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, Jennifer, for that introduction. Thank you also to Nickelodeon, and thank you to the young leaders for being so incredible and for all that you do and will do. From social distancing to remote learning, you've been through a lot this year, but through it all, you young leaders have really stepped up. You've worn your masks, you've helped out your neighbors, you've been role models in your community. You know, when I was young, my mother used to say, Kamala, don't just sit around and complain about things, do something about it. Well, you are doing something. You are creating a better future, and you inspire me and President Biden every day. We are so grateful for you, and we want you to know that we're doing everything we can to make sure all of our students and our young leaders can get back to school and back with your friends and be safe and thrive. Thank you for stepping up. You make us and your country so proud.
Liar, 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 liar. Smug, disingenuous. Oh, but she's great. She is just great. All young women should aspire to be like her. So what Kool-Aid are you drinking? Grape, lemon, lime, raspberry, orange, strawberry? Or are you drinking Funny Face? Maybe they're spiking the Funny Face. Ollie Ollie Orange. What was it? Ollie Ollie Orange. I can't remember the names of Funny Face. I used to love the names. The drink, I don't remember. I think Kool-Aid was better. It certainly served Jim Jones well, didn't it? Was that Kool-Aid or was it Zyrex? I have no idea. I think it may not have been Kool-Aid. I think that probably hurt Kool-Aid's reputation for them to say that. Maybe it was Kool-Aid. I have no idea. They certainly didn't serve it out of Mr. Kool-Aid pitcher there in Jonestown, did they? It's 10:12 right now on Legacy 1160 WSKW. A free people will not except lack of freedom for long. A real free American loving, freedom loving, Constitution loving people are going to get tired of the edicts. And you know what? I don't care. You can complain, you can moan, you can whine that they're killing the elderly. Well, you know that to some extent, and maybe that is true in some instances. But when you look at the big picture, look at how many others it is killing, not from the disease, but from things unrelated to the disease as far as the actual virus is concerned, but more related to lack of being socially involved. Whether it's children in school or not in school, whether it's people out of work, working from home, they can work from home. Isn't that great? Well, you know what? For the young mother, perhaps it is. Perhaps it was a godsend. Perhaps it was and is. And to that end, I say, great. If the single mom with children can work from home, take care of her kids, make money, contribute to society, why on earth, in this day and age of technology, why on earth would I want anything different? But for a lot of people, working from home is a death sentence. People need people. They need interaction. And a lot of people aren't getting it. You know, they're answering phones at home. They're doing their work on computers. While that may be well and good for the single mom, for the mom or for the man or woman who live alone and count on the social interaction at work every day, that's the impetus for severe depression. Don't ask me how I know that. Just trust me, I do. So, taking matters into their own hands, more than 250,000 motorcyclists rolled into Daytona Beach this week, or last week, with a defiant message for President Joe Biden and his national mask mandate. And the message was simple, succinct, brief. Quote, "This is America. You can't tell us what to do." Okay. Well, there you go. That puts it pretty clearly, doesn't it? This is America. You can't tell us what to do. But they have been. They can't legally do it. Janet Mills can't legally do what she's doing. Month after month after month. We were promised 2 weeks. It's been over a year. 2 weeks. And as March ends, you know what? I'm gonna predict something. Are you ready for my prediction? I predict she's going to extend her emergency order another month. Don't ask me how I know this, but it just came to me like maybe I'm psychic. Can she literally do that? Can she literally set limits on who can go where and when and for what reasons? And Janet's not the worst of them. I mean, you want to see the worst of them. You look to California. Look at what happened in New York. Look what happened in Pennsylvania. Now, let's see what happens after this bike rally in Daytona. I know some leftist bikers. I wonder if there were any leftist bikers here who are getting fed up. I'm betting there are people of all ilks, of all mindsets, who were at this thing and saying, this is America. You can't tell me what to do. Basically, they're saying that's like tantamount to Molin Lave. Come and take it. You want my freedom? Come at me. Come on. You think they're going to do that? Now, here is the power in numbers, okay? First of all, Florida's wide open thanks to Ron DeSantis. So there's that. But even if it wasn't, even if they rolled into California, what are they going to do with 300,000 bikers? They're going to arrest them, going to put them in jail, going to get all their names, put them on a contact tracing list. What are they going to do? This is America. It's not this is California, this is Florida, this is Maine, this is New Hampshire, this is Utah, this is North Carolina, this is South Dakota. No, this is America. You can't tell me what to do, President Biden. America, that comprises all of the lower 48, Alaska, and Hawaii. So put 300,000 bikers anywhere. People getting fed up. What are they going to do when the 300,000 bikers become 1 million fed up Americans who may or may not be bikers, who may be white-collar workers, blue-collar workers. They may be law enforcement. They may be military. They may be mom and pops. They may be college students. What happens when you get 2 million or 10 million people who are fed up? Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Now, this biker rally is right in the middle of spring break. And this is the 80th annual Bike Week. And they weren't going to stay home. DailyMail.com joined the giant rally as leather-clad motorcyclists from every state in the nation cruised down Main Street for a raucous party on two wheels. Virtually nobody wore a mask or practiced social distancing as tattooed revelers packed into bars to sing along to REO Speedwagon covers and kick back with $3 beers. That's $18 a six-pack. Better be good beer. Better be microbrews for that price. I refuse to mask. Joe Biden ain't going to tell me what to do. I have a constitutional right to do whatever the hell I want. John Saxon, 52. He wore a Stars and Stripes bandana, Confederate-themed sleeveless shirt, and had a badge on his black leather vest listing his vocation as sex instructor. First lesson is free. Okay, come on. Come on. Is your ha-ha broken? You can laugh at that. That's funny. In fact, his day job is working in a power plant in Biloxi, Mississippi. He rides at least 550 miles east every year to Daytona Beach. Now, agree with the fact that these bikers threw caution to the wind or not. Understand that these people, like all of us, have known great American freedom all of our lives. And we've become tired of the government telling us what to do as life literally goes by. While Big Brother tells us to watch from the sidelines as teams play with no spectators, the elderly die with no loved ones, schools sit empty as kids become depressed. These are the types of people, not unlike you and me, who will not tolerate much more of the Democratic power-grabbing lockdowns. We hope it doesn't get violent, but the people are being pushed further than we have seen in our lifetime. And at a certain point, the desire for freedom will trump life itself. I really believe that. That New Hampshire license plate says it all, man. Doesn't it? Live free or die. There you go. Live free or die. I've talked to people, and I'm not lying to you about this. I have talked to people in my circle of friends who are willing to die to save our freedom. Now, I'm not talking about military people either. I'm talking about regular schmucks like you and me. They're going to take our freedom. We're going to die trying to save it. I'm just the messenger. So what does that mean? Well, you had 300,000 bikers roll into Florida, not caring. Why? Well, because freedom. Because Ron DeSantis and freedom. Would it have made a difference if Ron DeSantis had not opened up Florida? If he had been a tyrant of a governor? I don't know. Maybe it would have kept some home, but I doubt it would have kept all of them home because people are getting fed up watching as life goes by. It's a year. It's a year. Already a year out of our life thrown into the waste heap. Gone. Forever. Nothing. No celebrations. No visiting your elderly relatives in the nursing home or the hospital. Life is gone by. Lives have ended. Many hundreds of thousands of lives have ended with nobody by the side of their family with them. No one by their side. And we're just watching it take its toll on so many people. Very sad. Very sad. Okay, so I didn't mean to leave my Kamala segment because I actually did have more on Kamala. But I wanted to mention that New Hampshire piece. You know, I was thinking about New Hampshire. Listen to this. I was thinking about New Hampshire. My wife was asking me over the weekend. Well, she was telling me she just registered her Toyota 2018 or 2017. I forget what year. Maybe 2018, I guess. Said it cost her almost $400. I said, you know how much that would have cost you in New Hampshire? She said, how much? I said about 30. Actually, I think I was wrong. I think it's less than that. And she said, what? I said, yeah, about 30. Can you imagine? This has to happen. People must move from New Hampshire to Maine and then go to register their vehicle in their new town, and they whip out a couple of 20s. And the town clerk says, I need more than that. $40. You expect change back? And they say, no, it's going to be $480. You know, how many people drop dead of a heart attack right there in the town office or city hall or at the DMV when they hear that? Maine, if you're thinking of moving to Maine, it's a beautiful state, but it has earned the name taxation land. Believe me, people changed their license plates. It always said vacation land on the license plate, and they changed it to taxation land. And a lot of people got in trouble for that because you're not supposed to change the plates. Does it still? I don't even know if it still says vacation land. I don't look at license plates that often, unless they're a different color and I wonder where they're from. But I never look at Maine plates. There are so many different ones now. It's hard to tell if some of them are even from Maine until you read Maine on the plate. So Kamala Harris, let's go back to Kamala. Now, you heard she won that Kids' Choice Award. For the children, she is such a great role model. She loves kids. She does so much for kids. She hates kids. Abortion is okay. It's okay. Abortion's okay. The priest molested kids, but, you know, their lawyers gave money to my campaign, so we'll let that slide. Yeah, Kamala. Oh, she's everything you want your young woman to be. Then you're a horrible parent. I will tell you right there, if you want your daughter to be like Kamala Harris, you are a horrible parent. There, I said it. I wonder how many friends I'll lose for that. Hello? If you want your daughter to be like Kamala Harris, you are a horrible parent. That is not an opinion. That is the truth. We'll accept no arguments on that point. So I've told you many times, Kamala Harris is a loser who uses every opportunity she can to get ahead. Even if she has to turn her back on women and children who are victims of horrific sex crimes. Yes, she has abandoned both for power. She has abandoned children. The Me Too movement, she has abandoned children in the priesthood, on Planned Parenthood issues. She has abandoned Me Too for power. She's an opportunist. She doesn't care about anybody save for Kamala Harris. But who am I to criticize Kamala? After all, women all over social media post pictures of her after Biden chose her, saying how powerful she is. Look at her walk. Oh, she's a great role model. All young women should aspire to be like Kamala Harris. So when I criticize her, I'm a racist and I'm a misogynist, undoubtedly. So I'm not going to play that role today. No, I'm going to let Judge Jeanine Pirro of Fox News play that role for me. Here's Judge Jeanine. I love it.
Finally, tonight, she is a fraud, a phony, a woman without a moral core, a regular two-faced, mealy-mouthed politician who swings with the wind. Take a look at the great things our daughters have been told about her. Her swearing in inspires girls nationwide. That across American Black and brown and Asian students look to the Biden administration with hope, pride, and great expectations because of her, Kamala Harris, and what her historic presidential role means to women in politics. A real role model, ain't she? But remember, a woman who couldn't get 1% of support in her party's presidential primary nomination, a woman destined to be president, many believe, in the very near future, who can't even answer a question about whether or not Andrew Cuomo should resign after 7 women accused him of sexual harassment and assault. What is this woman afraid of?
Madam Vice President, do you have any comment on Governor Cuomo?
Some supporter of women, huh? A woman paraded around as a champion for women, quick to believe all women unless it doesn't work to her political advantage. A woman who once prosecuted cases on behalf of rape victims, who then turns around to raise money for the Minnesota Freedom Fund that bails out the men who rape women. This is certainly not the kind of woman we need running this country as president.
Oh, Judge Jeanine. Judge Jeanine. Told you. I'm not the only one saying it. Oh, you just don't like Kamala because she's a powerful woman. You're afraid of power. I've been told this. Oh, you're afraid of powerful women. No, I'm not. My wife is a powerful woman, and I'm not afraid of her. I respect her. I'm not afraid of her. Neither am I afraid of somebody like Kamala, who is not a respectable woman. She is not a powerful woman. She is a disingenuous, opportunistic scumbag. Oh, my word, I can't believe it. What am I, if not a misogynistic racist? I'm a realist. I am a realist. That's what I am. I'm a realist. You want to talk about a powerful woman of color? Look at Candace Owens. Look at Aveda King. Look at Kim Klacik. There are a few good ones for you right there. I would elect any one of those three I just mentioned to anything and trust them with my life. What? Yeah, no, Aveda King is the niece of the late Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Great woman. 10:34. Got to take a break. Be right back. Please share the broadcast. Numbers have been down the last couple of days. I think we're getting shadow banned again. Help bring them back up. Share. Do your part. Thank you. Appreciate it. It will come back. Good things will come back. I guarantee it. We've got to be loud and vocal more than ever. Now, no time to sit on the sidelines. We'll be right back.
WSKW, Legacy 1160.
What's important here at Moody's is we have a lot of opportunity for upward mobility.
Moody's definitely helped me through. They sent me to school. I got my degree in business. I had the demeanor and I had the willpower and the want.
Our trade is constantly changing and there's always new challenges that arise.
I definitely feel like an owner. It's very exciting.
When you like what you do, you like your job, you like the people you work with, what else could you ask for?
Bring your skills to Moody's and build a long-term future with us.
Townline Antiques wants to know, what are you shopping for today? Searching for furniture to add to your home? Townline Antiques has beautiful pieces of furniture for every room, built to last with quality materials from the past. Thinking of decorating in a classic style? You'll find enchanting home decor, artwork, glassware, and hundreds more items around every corner. Do you love collecting books, comics, coins, sports memorabilia, watches, or classic electronics? Townline Antiques has cool, rare, and one-of-a-kind items to add to your collection that you won't find anywhere else. And if you love searching through treasures of the past, here's more great news. Townline Antiques has expanded with extra booth space. Now there are even more quality antiques to browse every time you visit. Plus, there are a limited number of dealer spaces now available. If you'd like to learn about selling at Townline Antiques, just stop in. Townline Antiques, open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 to 5, Route 201, right on the Winslow-Vassalboro Town Line.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Mostly sunny but windy and cold today. Below zero wind chills to start this morning with highs only getting into the low 20s and feeling colder with a stiff northwesterly wind continuing. Mostly sunny mid-30s for tomorrow, warming up for the middle of the week. Mid-40s Wednesday, near 50 on Thursday with partly sunny skies.
Legacy 1160 WSKW, Pep Rally for Freedom. John James here, powered by the Gun Shop on Coney Circle in Augusta. Guns, ammo, and everything you need. They're closed Mondays, though. They go in tomorrow. They're closed Sunday and Monday, open the rest of the week. Adam and Cody and Jarrett, Crystal. Doesn't matter if you want to deal with a man or a woman, either one. They're all gun experts over there, and they know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about, and they've got plenty of supply. Even ammo. They even have ammo now. Ammo, I'm going to tell you, the cost is up everywhere. And my brother-in-law was telling me the other night, we were over having a little gathering, a little soiree at Le Club Calumet. And he was saying he heard that it's going to be 2 years before they catch up on ammo. So it's just supply and demand. So many new guns have been sold. So much ammo is going out the doors with new gun owners and gun owners who just want to stock up. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I stocked up. before the shortage occurred. But shortage is going to be going on for a while now, it looks like. And you need to practice. You still need to practice. So yes, you're going to have to bite the bullet, as it were, and spend the extra money to get some practice ammo. Oh, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo. He has a new plan to end the border crisis. Have you heard about this? He's going to put the migrants in nursing homes. How about that? Good for you, Andrew. He's thinking out of the box now. Or maybe in it. I'm not sure. And CNN's ratings, thanks to people like Brian Stelter, who we'll get to. We've got a couple of Brian Stelter show pieces here for you. Humpty Dumpty. Good old Brian Stelter. CNN's ratings are in a free fall again. Do you know what they call Wolf Blitzer when he watches CNN? Anybody? A lone wolf. Oh. Do we have anything else here that I can make fun of? Syrian President Bashar al-Assad tested positive for COVID-19. And I'm afraid there's some bad news. Doctors say his prognosis is good. So that's kind of a bummer. Time at the tone, 10:39. I'm John James. This is Freedom's Pep Rally. What do you mean, do I have more? Not right now. No, I have to pace myself. Okay. All right. We'll have, I like making fun of things. I do. That's how I do radio. That's how I've always done radio. It's just gotten much more political over the years. I'm looking for something here, some sound that I think will delight you. And I haven't checked this source for a while, so I'm just checking it on a whim right now. And how about this? Okay. Did you remember to set, I'm going to set this up. You've got to set these things up. This is a key part of radio. If you're doing a radio show, you're practicing to do a radio show, you want to set things up. You don't want anything to just come out of the blue and smack your audience upside the head and make them wonder, why on earth is he doing this? It makes no sense. So in order to avoid that, you set things up. And this here for people who are aspiring to be radio folks, this is a professional setup. So yesterday, officially at 2 a.m., but for most of us earlier, and sometimes automatically in computers and cell phones, we set the clocks ahead an hour. We set the clocks ahead 1 hour now. Some people didn't get the memo. Some old schoolers didn't get the memo. And they showed up at church and it was already over. Right? They showed up at the, I was going to say a buffet, but there are no buffets now. No buffets during COVID. They showed up to Walmart and it was already closed. They didn't get the memo. So they're in a bit of a time warp. Okay, now there's a professional setup. And now, I give you this. See how well this works now?
It's the springtime. Time is changing. We just lost an hour.
Ugh.
It feels so early.
But the days will be longer.
Wake up with a hot shower. Every year I'm doing the time change, moving my clocks ahead. I need a big coffee, wishing I was still sleeping. Let's do the time change again. Let's do the time change again. You
want to stay in your bed.
It was too short of a night.
Need a little more rest.
Now 8 o'clock is 9. But you gotta get up, or else you're gonna be late. Let's do the time change again. Let's do the time change again.
All right, so hey, I knew you'd love it. I knew you'd love it. I do it because I love you. We all need to just lighten up a little bit. All right, let's see what we have coming in here. Tyrant Mills will send the tax-paid blue shirts into your home, and the citizen has to deplete their own bank account to... Oh, I've got some news on depletion of a bank account. Oh, don't let me lose that thought. Don't let me lose that thought. If you're trying to make a little extra money and you think, oh, yes, Joe Biden, $1,400, woo! You're going to be paying that back, friend. All right, Casey says, not just ammo, but we're stocking up on gas. They are forecasting gas prices to be close to $6 a gallon by the 4th of July because they want to push more people to buy electric cars. Well, of course they do. I haven't seen that story of $6 a gallon, but I will look. Might be a good time to open a gas station. Just fill the tanks for yourself. Okay, let's see. The red pony of the continual soiree. Time change. Pick one. Just fix it. I know, right? We're sick of the time change. I do like the extra daylight now. And I do like, I got to be honest with you, I do like falling back. Springing ahead, not so much. Falling back is good. Because on that Saturday night, oops, I must have been too loud. I've had the door slammed in my face. Oh, same back at you, brother. All right, so here's what I was going to tell you now. This doesn't make me too happy and won't make a lot of people happy. There is a tax law that if you do business on Etsy or Amazon or one of these other platforms, you use a PayPal, and you sell stuff, you sell little trinkets, you sell crafts, whatever you sell. I sell my voice. Nobody wants it, but I try to sell it. So, previously, if you made under $20,000, if you made $19,999 on one of these platforms, you would not get a 1099. Meaning and I'm just saying for clerical purposes, if you aren't a good bookkeeper and you don't know how much you sold, you wouldn't know unless you went back and went through all your stuff, because you wouldn't be getting a 1099 from, Etsy or Amazon or PayPal or any of these businesses. $20,000 onward, you would. You would get the 1099 from whatever service you are selling on or using as a vendor for your credit cards. Well, snuck into the COVID-19 relief bill, that has now changed. The ceiling, which was $20,000 that you could make, and neither you nor the IRS would be notified that you made anything at all, was $20,000 previously, snuck into the Biden stimulus bill, which everybody was, oh, thank God, he's going to get this. They have lowered the ceiling. They have lowered the ceiling. So what is it now, $15,000? No. Well, is it $10,000? No. It's also not $5,000. Oh, and the new ceiling is also not $1,000. The new ceiling that you have got to hit before you get a 1099, where you and the government are officially informed that you have made this money, is now anything $600 or more. So they've lowered the ceiling by $19,400 because they need the money to pay for their entitlements and for their foreign and homeland abortions and for all of the medical care for all of the illegal aliens. Because of that, they want to make sure they suck every single dime they can out of you and me, and that we don't miss any of it. And if we do, I heard yesterday that if we have missed any in the past, that they may be coming after you. So let that sink in for a minute. Let it sink in. If you made $1,000 on Etsy during COVID-19 and you didn't claim it or don't claim it in this next tax year, you could be going to prison. How about that? How about that? Derica says, I decided against setting up an Etsy account just because of their fees. But yeah, it is crazy. I don't know how much Etsy costs, but I know a lot of people do sell on there. And, you know, if you're not going to sell a lot, just the fees alone could be a buzzkill, right? But when you start factoring in that anything over $600 now, the government is going to know everything you make. Because the companies will be bound by law, thanks to the COVID bill, thanks to the COVID stimulus. Are you starting to see now? That it wasn't that much about COVID? It was more for the government interests than it was. COVID was just sort of a side. You know, it was an aside. You know, we'll get almost $2 trillion. We'll give a little for stimulus. But don't worry, we're going to get it all back because they're going to wind up getting taxed right up the wazoo when we lower the ceiling for 1099 forms down $19,400 to $600, previously $20,000. Hi, we're the government. We're here to help you. This is Joe Biden's America now. Are you happy? Are you happy? I know what the resounding answer is from most listeners. I know it was a no when it started, and it's still probably now even a stronger no. It's even a no from some of the people who said, Biden, we got to get Trump out. Well, how do you like it? Still think Donald Trump didn't care about America and Americans? Guess what? We've got a lot of regulations coming in now. We're going to have a lot more regulations on businesses. They're hoping to get the $15 an hour in. Yeah, we got to get that. In fact, AOC says minimum wage should be $23 an hour. Yeah, way to stick it right to the small businesses. The only survivors will be the Walmarts, the Amazons, the big guys. Right? Isn't that what you want? We'll be right back. I'm John James.
Legacy 1160, WSKW.
It's a new year. Aren't you tired of walking over the same beaten up old flooring? It's time you installed a new floor that offers premium durability by contacting HT Winters about their line of Tarkett Pro Gen tile and wood flooring. Tarkett is designed to stand strong in all seasons against water, dirt, and sunlight. The best way to improve your home this winter is to install Tarkett Pro Gen tile and wood flooring. HT Winters, 43 Bay Street in Winslow, and online at htwintersflooring.com.
What's important here at Moody's is we have a lot of opportunity for upward mobility.
Moody's definitely helped me through. They sent me to school. I got my degree in business. I had the demeanor and I had the willpower and the want.
Our trade is constantly changing and there's always new challenges that arise.
I definitely feel like an owner. It's very exciting.
When you like what you do, you like your job, you like the people you work with, what else could you ask for?
Bring your skills to Moody's and build a long-term future with us.
Where's the best place to go for your St. Patrick's Day dinner? O'Brien's at the Best Western Plus in Waterville. Join them Wednesday, St. Patty's Day, from 4 to 9 p.m. for their traditional corned beef and cabbage dinner. Or you can enjoy choices from their regular menu and some Irish beer specials. This is a plated dinner. Seating is limited and masks are mandatory. Make your reservations by calling 873-0111 or order your dinner to go and add a Guinness Stout. With a name like O'Brien's, it's got to be Irish. O'Brien's at the Best Western Plus, 375 Main Street in Waterville.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Mostly sunny but windy and cold today. Below zero wind chills to start this morning with highs only getting into the low 20s and feeling colder with a stiff northwesterly wind continuing. Mostly sunny mid-30s for tomorrow, warming up for the middle of the week, mid-40s Wednesday, near 50 on Thursday with partly sunny skies.
Hey, good morning. It's 10:54, Legacy 1160. This is Freedom's Pep Rally. Make me feel like. All right. 621-975-9207-441-6969. The text line. If you want to text us, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you either way. I'd love to talk with you on the phone is what I'd like to do. You know, talk me off the ledge here. Sometimes I get all wound up and I just need a little, I need a little levity in my life. I need somebody to say, easy now. It's not as bad as it seems. I love the guest we had on last week, Pam Popper, the Dr. Pam Popper there. We're talking about the mandates and all that stuff. And she's very optimistic. I'm not so much. I see what's going on and I'm not the only one that is not that optimistic. And I love the optimism. I really, really do. And, you know, I think I want to set myself up to be pleasantly surprised rather than completely disappointed. So I expect the worst and hope for the best. I think that's somewhat human nature. So I'm not negative Nelly. I love doing this. I just love doing this. I feel we're getting the truth out, and I love your being there. I really do. And, you know, we're only going to build from here. And I told you earlier, I'm going to be going on, I think I'm going to do a video later today, half-hour Freedom's Pep Rally video at some point, whether it's this afternoon or this evening. I'm not certain about that, but I will be streaming on all the regular platforms, YouTube and Right America Media, Legacy 1160, my page, American Women Who Bear Arms, Freedom's Pep Rally. So, you know, and there's another opportunity to join in the fun and share the love. Share the love of each other and the love of country. And I mean that. I mean that with all I've got. I mean, this is literally a labor of love. So we've got the mask mandates. We've got the continued lockdowns of schools. Southern Maine, I don't know if they've gone back to school. I should have asked Mike. I was just talking with him in the other room. Because he's in Portland quite a bit. I'm not. And I've never had kids in the Portland school districts. But a lot of them, the teachers union refusing to okay the teachers to go back to school to teach the kids in person. And this certainly has an effect on people. So these lockdowns, while they are very hurtful, they also border on unconstitutional. But the left, as I say repeatedly on this program, doesn't care about the Constitution or the rule of law. Now, in an interview on the Ingram Angle, Senator Rand Paul once again blasted Dr. Fauci for his public health recommendations during the COVID-19 pandemic, saying that he spreads, quote, noble lies. Now, Dr. Paul, yes, Rand Paul is a doctor. He's a medical doctor. He has been one of the few politicians who has regularly questioned Fauci's decision-making during the pandemic. And of all people, he is one who is certainly, he has the credentials to do that. Fox News anchor Laura Ingraham asked Paul, Senator, you've been one of the few lawmakers who directly call out Dr. Fauci's lies. Are people afraid to question him? And if so, why?
Well, it's the science, and people are afraid of, scientists, and he's put on a pedestal. But you have to remember that his lies are noble lies, Laura. He's not telling you this because he's a mean man. He's telling you lies because he feels sorry for you because you don't understand, and Americans aren't smart enough to make informed decision. So he fashions himself some sort of Greek philosopher. He tells you these noble lies. So at first he told you that all the masks don't work. But he told you that because he wanted to protect the N95 masks, which actually in a health setting do work. But then later on he said all masks do work, but that's also a lie also because really only the N95 masks work. But it's a compilation of lies, but they're all done to protect you because he doesn't think you're smart enough to make any of these decisions on your own.
True.
Well, to show you so far out of touch that President Biden is, he says he's going to let us get together with 2 or 3 people from our family July 4th.
How about that?
Has he not met anybody? Nobody, everybody is making their own decisions now where we are forced to comply with Dr. Fauci and his Fauciisms we do. But in private, most of us are doing what we want, when we want, and have been for a long, long time. We do try to take precautions. But to tell you the truth, none of the state mandates or state lockdowns have had any influence. And I hope we will study this in an objective way, because you can sequentially look at the date when each mandate was passed, when the mandates got ratcheted up, and you can look at the incidence of the disease. And what you find is that they're proportional, meaning that the more mandates we got, the more disease we got. Now, the mandates didn't cause the disease, but there's no evidence that the mandates slowed down the disease at all. Zero evidence of it.
Lockdowns didn't work. Yeah, look at Europe. Look at Europe with their third wave now. How the lockdowns work for Italy?
Yeah, right. How'd they work for Italy? That's true. Rand Paul is right. Noble lies. I love that. I like his way of framing what he says. It's just like every other elitist. They always feel like they're smarter than you and me. And they need to lock us down and mask us because we're too dumb. We're too dumb. We're like animals. We're too dumb to know how to do what's right. We don't deserve freedom because we can't be trusted with it. Is that about right? Does that about sum it up? We're not smart enough. You talk about people in cages. I mean, we're literally being caged by our own government. This is the beginning of tyranny. It's not the beginning. We're a year into it now. And now they're talking about if things ever do get back to normal, we'll have to shut down the economy every 2 years for the climate. No, you won't. No, it's another hoax that the left buys hook, line, and sinker. Because they are so malleable, they're so easily led, so pliable, they're like putty in the hands of the elitists. Putty. Back with more after the news. I'm John James. Thank you for being here.
From the Home Auto Group Studios, Farmington Ford and Franklin Chrysler in Farmington.
This is WSKW, Skowhegan, Augusta, Waterville, Legacy 1160.
ABC News, I'm Jim Ryan. More than 4,000 children are in federal custody after entering the U.S. by themselves at the southern border. ABC's Cecilia Vega is at a facility in Donna, Texas.
These kids are coming from some of the most dangerous countries in the world. There certainly is a perception that it might be easier to cross under the Biden administration, but the Biden administration isn't kicking these kids back across the border alone like the Trump administration did. So all of that is leading to that severe overcrowding.
House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is blaming the Biden administration. He's leading a Republican delegation to El Paso today. Indoor dining can reopen today on a limited basis in California. Anyone over 50 is now eligible in Texas, while anyone over 60 in Florida can get a shot. For the first time ever, 2 women were nominated for the Best Director Oscar. Chloe Zhao for Nomadland and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Women. Mank led all nominees with 10 ahead of the April 25th show. This is ABC News. The Vatican today declares it cannot bless same-sex unions. ABC's Megan Williams has the details from Rome.
The 2-page decree said gay people should be treated with dignity and respect, but it described same-sex unions as illegitimate and stuck to its description of gay sex as, quote, intrinsically disordered. Vatican observer Robert Micken says the decree is not surprising because it's based on what he calls antiquated Catholic teaching.
I think the real problem is church's whole sexual ethics and teaching. It's outdated. It's stuck in the Middle Ages.
The Pope has endorsed legal protection for same-sex unions, but only in the civil, not Catholic sphere. Megan Williams, ABC News, Rome.
More clashes in the streets of Myanmar in demonstrations over the military coup there. Protesters continue to rally in places like Mandalay despite retaliation from security forces yesterday that left at least 36 people dead. The military took control of the government last month. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Let's start with everyone out there who loves flexing in the mirror. Now, narrow it to all those muscle squeezers who hate stretching their wallet. Well, with my Walgreens, members earn an extra 5% in Walgreens cash rewards on Walgreens brand items. So head to Walgreens for great deals, or limp if you're like me and forgot to stretch while getting in the car. Ow, my cats!
Right now, stock up on everything from pain relievers to vitamins with select Walgreens brand health and wellness items. Buy one, get one 50% off. Offer valid through 4/24 with My Walgreens. See Walgreens.com for details.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide 24-hour protection against viruses. Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. To keep surfaces sanitized all day, use Microban 24 sanitizing spray. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19. Once dry, Microban 24 sanitizing spray is effective for 24 hours on bacteria when used as directed.
And now, the show that highlights America's most intelligent people.
And so the idea, I'm not going to speak out against what he's doing in Hong Kong, what he's doing with the Uyghurs in western mountains of China and Taiwan, trying to end the one China policy by making it forceful. I said, and by the he said he.
Freedom's Pep Rally with John James.
Good morning. Welcome back. 11:06 right now. Video of Freedom's Pep Rally coming up later on today or this evening on YouTube. Most of these same channels, not on the radio, but on the video from my studio at home. We'll see how that goes. I tested it out 3 or 4 or 5 times yesterday, and I kept having audio problems. Not bad audio problems, just settings problems, and it was embarrassing for me. So, hey, Mike, before you leave, are Portland schools back in session yet? Do we know? My answer to that is no. No, okay. All right. So they're keeping them locked out still. Nice. All right. I didn't think so. So some of the schools here in Central Maine are, but apparently not in Southern Maine. Because they're woke. You know, they're woke.
Absolutely.
You can't beat that. Woke is a joke. Hey, you go broke. You got that right. All right, we've got 11:07 now on Legacy 1160. I watched a movie, a couple of Netflix recommendations for you. I've watched some real turds lately, I've got to tell you. I start to watch them, and I realize they suck, and I stop. So I've got all of these movies under continue watching for John, of which I will never continue watching any of them. I've got to figure out how to clear my screen of that stuff. Oh, I know a lot of people. Oh, Netflix. I don't like Netflix. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. So I have it. Unapologetically, I've got it. And I mean, you think about it. I know we're supporting scum, but when we subscribe to some of these things, but you think of everything we have, we support some scum somewhere doing, our taxes support more scum than anything we could subscribe to. Our taxes support abortion. Our taxes support illegal immigration. Our taxes support all of this stuff. Our taxes support the colleges that teach kids that socialism and communism is righteous and free speech is wrong and guns are bad. So I'll take my Netflix. Go to settings, history, and then clear. Okay. Well, that was easy. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mikkel. All right. So I was watching this Owen Wilson. And he was the guy in Dumb and Dumber, right? Owen Wilson and what's his name? Jim Carrey. I think those were the two. And I thought, oh, great. It was called No Escape. Pierce Brosnan was in it. And Owen Wilson, I thought, well, Owen Wilson, this guy's a dub. That's a Maine term, by the way, if you're not listening from Maine right now. A dub. He's a dummy. So I watched this, and it was really good. It was really good. He was great. He was actually very good in the movie. He was a good dramatic actor. He was the dad of this family. He had a wife who was played, I think, by Annie Dwyer, I think, played his wife. Then he had a couple of little girls. And it was a 2015 movie, so I'm a little late on it. I just finished. Well, it gave me, suggestions to watch next. And interestingly, I had just watched No Escape Room, which was kind of dumb. It was I don't know. It was okay. And I saw this. I thought, why are they giving me the same movie I just watched? And I realized it was a different movie, so I watched it, and it was good. Very, very edge of your seat moments. I've got to tell you, there's some very, especially with the kids. There was one scene where he's throwing his daughters off a high building. It reminded me of, Pierce Brosnan was in it. It reminded me of a James Bond movie. Some of it was so intense, and I really enjoyed it. Dubba. Yeah, it's a Maine. Yeah, dubba. You're a dubba. It is. It's a Maine insult. So we say Maine. We don't say Mainer. If you're in Maine, you're not a Mainer. If you're a Mainer, if you say you're a real Mainer, you're from away. You say you're a Mainer. And you know what? I purposely started talking more like a Mainer because in radio, you learn how to, especially voiceover work, you can't sound like a Mainer when you're doing ads for California or Iowa or, Texas. I can do a pretty good Texas accent. I've done some Texas ads before, and they like my Texas accent. But you have to lose it. You have to lose that Maine accent. But when I'm not working, I purposely talk the way a lot of my friends talk, and I'm just comfortable doing it. Maina. And my wife corrects me all the time. I will say, I want to go ride a horse. And she will say, horse. I'll say, she'll say, are you going to go to the store to get some milk? And I say, probably. And I don't even think that's the way I talk. Probably. She says, probably. Oh, yeah, probably. Drives her crazy. I love doing that. I love being corrected. And I'll say, I'm not wrong. You're wrong. You're from Maine. You're supposed to be talking like me, most probably. Probably, that's another Maine one. Probably, you're going down there. I guess probably. I got a Mayad. I got a Mayad down there in the mud. Want to help me twitch her out? You, unless you're from Maine, you have no idea what I'm talking about. 11:12 right now on Legacy 1160 WSKW. Back in the saddle again. So, free speech. The student body president at the University of Connecticut, better known as UConn, has now come under fire by peers in the student government. Why? Why is this guy under fire? Well, he supports a pro-free speech legislation directive on campus. He's pro-free speech, so they're canceling him. The undergraduate, and I've got more on this free speech. This is scary. This is scary time. They're not going to shut me up. Don't worry about that. You either. They're not going to shut you up. You're too American for that crap. The Undergraduate Student Government, USG, Governing Board recently issued a vote of no confidence for President Mike Hernandez because he supports a proposed free speech bill. According to a report by Daily Campus. This legislation seeks to protect the right of students to freely express their opinions within student government and at the university as a whole. So basically, they're communists. The students there are learning how to be good, compliant communists. There's no other word for it. There's no other word for it. That's tyranny. That's fascism. And, you know, ironically, Antifa would be on board with the student body trying to cancel this guy. Antifa, because they're too stupid to know that their very name is ironic and hypocritical. They're too dumb. Over the past several weeks, President Hernandez has acted in a manner unbecoming of the office he holds, which has manifested in an apparent inability to understand the impact that his actions have and a disregard for the concerns repeatedly brought to him by those he leads, said UConn's USG in a statement. That's the undergraduate student government. So free speech at UConn that's just horrible. Horrible. Got to cancel this guy. He wants free speech. We cannot allow it. These are the people who are going to be governing our kids and grandkids. Let that sink in for a second. This is their thinking. This is the way they approach freedom. It's only their freedom to shut people down. It's not your freedom as an American. You have no inalienable rights in their mind if they think it's hate speech or they think it's hurtful. Grow up. Grow a pair. Grammar is not as important. Now, here, this from Campus Reform, speaking of colleges. Grammar doesn't matter. I know you were taught growing up. I was taught as a radio guy, the most important thing I can learn and learn well is grammar. How to be grammatically correct, how to speak clearly so I can be understood. But according to Campus Reform, grammar plays second fiddle to pronouns. A University of Wisconsin River Falls webpage. I guess that's University of Wisconsin-River Falls. Tell students that asking someone their pronouns is like asking someone their name. Further stating that failing to refer to someone by their correct pronoun is not only disrespectful and hurtful, but it's also oppressive. The information, this is college. This is college, where kids are supposed to become smart, learn how to embrace life boldly, go out and create businesses and make lots of money. Pronouns? And now, so they're devolving. Well, that starts at a very young age now, as we've seen. I mean, in kindergarten, first grade, they're learning about things that kids ought not even have heard about by then. This information on University of Wisconsin River Falls webpage came from a diversity, inclusion, and belonging webpage, which is titled Gender Pronouns. And it shows a pronoun how-to guide. All right, so I don't have time for this. Does that mean anything to you? I am trying to figure out how I'm going to start a business. I want to get into the workforce. I want to create jobs for people. I want to make something in my life. Now you're telling me I've got to sit and I've got to read this website, this how-to guide on pronouns, or I'm oppressing people. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Yeah. Now, here are some of the pronouns listed. I don't even know how to say some of them. E and I, E-Y, just the capital letter E /E-Y. E-Y-E-Y-O. Pronoun, per, P-E-R. Pronoun, si, S-I-E. Pronoun, V, capital V-E. Pronoun, Zi, capital Z-I-E. Those are valid pronouns, none of which will fit well into a sentence as a pronoun. They'll sound stupid. But you're to put that aside, and you are to comply if you are going to be a student, because not to do so makes you an oppressor, and therefore you will be canceled and probably expelled. The frequently asked portion, or frequently asked questions, the FAQs portion of the webpage, says it is a privilege to be cisgender. That doesn't sound like a question to me. But that's what the article said. It is a privilege to be cisgender. Now, cisgender, I didn't know this till recently. I always called myself, well, I didn't even call myself this. Hi there, I'm John James. I'm a heterosexual. I'm a heterosexual man. How about that? It's not part of the introduction process for me. Hi, I'm John James. I'm a heterosexual man, and my pronouns are he, him, his. There. Okay, is that it? Him, his, he, him, her, they. But now you've got all these other ones. Psi, V, Xi, E, I, per. Cisgender is what a heterosexual, cisgender is a straight person, I guess. I'll be damned if I've got time to learn. Nor will I. Call me oppressive. Call me. He is the great oppressor. Ooh, oppressing on a daily show. Ooh. Okay, so be it. Further down, the university encourages grammar rules to be broken for the sake of feelings. I kid you not.
Feeling
You can break grammar rules and talk poorly.
Nothing more than feeling.
Welcome to America. Welcome to college, kids. Aren't you happy you're spending $70,000, $80,000 a year on your kids to come learn this crap? But before long, I mean, we're regressing. So grammar now doesn't matter. Before long, in order not to offend people, you'll have to change the whole. What did he say? I have no idea, but it was politically correct. Didn't hurt my feelings. Right? I laugh. I laugh because I don't know how else to respond. 51% of Americans, this goes back some time too. This is maybe a half a year ago or more this study was done, maybe a year ago. 51%. Now, if you're poor at math, let me tell you that's over half of Americans say the First Amendment goes too far in allowing hate speech and should be rewritten, according to a poll by the Campaign for Free Speech. I'm not making this up. Only 42% disagree. Now, here's the poll results. 57% of millennials. Now, remember, we're a couple of generations down from that, or up from that, however you want to look at it. The millennials are now the adults. They're now my son, my daughter-in-law is my daughter's age. They're the millennials coming of age at around the turn of the century. More conservative in thought than Generation X or Z or QPRLT, I don't know. LGBTQ, I have no idea. Letters everywhere. So 57% of millennials say the First Amendment goes too far. 57% of millennials, even more of the younger set, you can imagine. 35% disagree. 47% of baby boomers say the First Amendment goes too far, compared to 48% who disagree. 57% of all those polled say the government should be able to take action against newspapers and TV stations for biased content, compared to 35% who disagree. And there is something that I fall in the majority on. I've been saying that for a while now. I've been saying there should be a rule. If you have the word news anywhere in your name, like the Communist News Network, CNN, or MSDNC, they have news in their title, or CBS Evening News, or World News Tonight, then you should put a disclaimer on there saying there is a lot of opinion here. There should be a disclaimer, or you should not be allowed to call yourself news. It should be illegal. I think there should be an amendment, because people don't know what to believe, because they call themselves news. They report lies like MSNBC and CNN do on a daily, hourly basis. And they get away with it. They get away with it. Nobody calls them out. People don't understand what's going on because they don't hear the truth. They hear nothing but lies, or they are deprived of hearing stories that go against the beliefs of the news network, like the Hunter Biden laptop. Nobody heard about it. Nobody on the left heard about it because nobody reported it. No leftist news outlets, no Pravdas reported it. They covered it up. That is lying by omission. Would you agree? 48% say hate speech should be against the law. while 31% say it should be allowed. Well, put me in the 31% then, okay? I fall in the 31%. Hate speech is free speech. Where do you draw the line at that point when you start doing your own deciding as to what is hate speech and what isn't? When we allow government, the government, to make the rules what constitutes hate speech, we're setting ourselves up in a world of hurt. The government can't run a frickin' postal service. They lose billions every year. They can't run health care. They can't run Social Security. They can't run the border. The Democrats can't. And we want them to judge what is and what isn't hate speech? That is a progressive's dream come true. The day that happens, that'll be a progressive's dream come true. That will be an end to your First Amendment rights. Only the left will be able to say what they want to. And the conservatives will be, and this is what they want to do, they want to shut us down. They don't want us to be able to speak our mind. And this would be their wish come true. And this is part of the end game. It's what they want. 207-621-9759. I know I missed a couple of calls. I do get told once in a while when somebody sees the phone. But that's not often. I'm usually the only one that looks at it. So we've got gun control that is going to be shoved down our collective throats here. You're aware of that, right? There are a bunch of things going on right now that will declaw the Second Amendment, as it were. Louisiana Representative Steve Scalise, who was nearly killed by a Bernie Sanders supporter a few years back at a congressional baseball practice, he approves in a single tweet that the left loves illegals and hates Americans. Last Thursday, Steve Scalise tweeted, breaking, House Democrats just rejected an amendment that would have required ICE to be notified if an illegal immigrant tries to buy a gun. So if somebody who's in this country illegally tries to buy a gun, Democrats don't think ICE ought to be informed. The immigration police, they don't need to know that. No, we don't need to tell them that. Why would we want to cause any undue harm to the illegal alien? Yet, they are taking away the gun rights of law-abiding Americans. Huh. That's how warped, that's how deranged the progressive left is. They don't think with a brain. They do not use their brains. They do not trust fellow Americans. They are very partisan. They are very hateful. They are very disrespectful. They don't like the Constitution. They don't trust us. The progressive left. They're the ones. I mean, you can go ahead and say all you want about the conservatives and the Trump supporters, the basket of deplorables and irredeemables. Go ahead, say that all you want. It's falling on deaf ears. The only people believe it, the only people who care are the people, your choir. Because any logical, objective person, any person with half a brain, knows that what you say is not true. No, none of it's true. It's for your own benefit and the benefit of stirring up hatred in your own folks. So Steve Scalise tweeted this on Saturday, along with a video. He tweeted, Democrats this week voted for stripping gun rights from law-abiding citizens voted against requiring ICE to be notified if an illegal immigrant tries to buy a gun. Their priorities tell you all you need to know. So here is Steve Scalise on with Laura Ingraham, and I believe this was on Friday.
This is just one more step in Nancy Pelosi's socialist agenda that she's pushing through the House with the complicity of all of the House Democrats who continue to vote to take away more of our rights. Today, they went after our gun rights with the bill to make it harder for law-abiding citizens to get guns. As your last guest mentions, every day in America, people use guns to save the lives of themselves and their families, and yet this bill would make it much harder. In fact, right now, there's a 3-day waiting period. This could make it open-ended. There could be no limit to how many days unelected bureaucrats held up your application to get a gun if you're an American citizen. However, we had the amendment, as you mentioned, that said if someone's here illegally and they try to buy a gun illegally, that name should be turned over to ICE. Well, guess what? The Democrats voted against that. So they think it's okay for someone illegally in America to get a gun, but they don't want you to be able to get a gun. They are going after our rights left and right in Washington.
How about that? How about that? The free commerce of firearms in the United States is in danger when it comes to law-abiding citizens. But if an illegal alien tries to buy a gun, rather than ICE being told that they've tried to buy a gun, so they're on the lookout for a gun, which would give ICE a great big red flag to get him and deport their ass. Nope. They want a gun. They will be denied the gun at the gun store, but the gun store will not tell ICE. ICE has no need to know. So now your illegal alien who may well be a criminal, who may well be a gang member, who may well be part of a gun cartel, is going to lie, cheat, steal, kill, whatever he has to do to get a gun, and then he's going to go out and he's going to kill, steal, maim. But the law-abiding citizen, we're the real danger. We are the real danger. America was a great place, wasn't it? Not so long ago. Guns do save lives. And criminals have guns. For example, Metro Nashville Police released video footage, hard to watch, by the way, of a shootout that injured a cop and killed a woman on Friday morning. Josh Baker, he's an officer in Nashville. He was shot in the torso Friday morning. He performed a traffic stop on a car whose owner was wanted on outstanding warrants, drug warrants. Thankfully, he now is in stable condition after surgery. Dash and body-worn camera footage was released on Friday by the Nashville Police Department. Shows that about 9 o'clock in the morning, as Baker patrolled Brick Church Pike, he came across a black 2015 Chevy Camaro registered to Desmond Buchanan, who was wanted on 6 outstanding warrants related to drug charges. The car stopped in the parking lot of a Dollar General on Brick Church Pike, at which point Baker discovered the driver was actually Nika Nicole Holbert. Holbert was not licensed to drive. Now, Holbert initially complied with Baker's directions. Very compliant. Dispatch audio provided by the police department shows that Baker told dispatchers that everything was initially okay after the stop. However, the officer then discovered what appeared to be marijuana and white powder in the purse, and he attempted to detain her. That's when he requested backup officers. His body-worn cam shows that he instructed Holbert to stop rifling through her bag and just give it to him. Listen, he told her when Holbert went back into the vehicle, just come back here. I just think we're getting off on the wrong foot. Baker explained to her that he pulled her over because the car's owner was wanted on several warrants. Holbert said she was alone in the car. Baker told her that his body-worn camera was recording the audio and video of the incidents. And video footage shows that Holbert called someone whom she identified as her mom. You hear her talking to her mom in the footage, and she needed someone to come to the scene. And when Baker discovered the apparent drugs, he informed Holbert he was stepping away to place them in his police vehicle. And that's when it went south. He attempted to detain Ms. Holbert. She grabbed her bag and ran away from him, and he told her that she was about to get tased. So he pulled out his stun gun, and the woman screamed. She ran into her vehicle. Baker deployed his stun gun on her. You see that in the video footage. Seconds later, he took a step back and he screamed at the woman, "Put down the gun." It then shows the two exchanging gunfire. The shot that hit Baker's torso knocked him backwards in the parking lot. He called dispatch to inform them he had been struck. And he threw his pistol into the parking lot. No, Holbert threw her pistol into the parking lot, semi-automatic pistol, which was later discovered. She drove off, but she didn't get far. She was hit. She was mortally wounded. Here's some audio from the point where the woman is tasered. The encounter will be followed by a statement from Don Aaron of the Nashville Police Department. And again, this video is available online. Hear the taser there.
Step out. Sam! Put the gun down! Put the gun down! 22 shots fired! Shots fired!
10-4, 13 key back that code 3.
There she is driving off with the door open.
23, I'm hit.
Officer Baker was shot in the side of his torso. The round went under his bulletproof vest. Holbert tossed her semi-automatic pistol in the parking lot before fleeing in the Camaro. She drove for about a block before running off the road at the intersection of Brickchurch Pike and Moorwood Drive. Officers rendered aid for her gunshot wounds until an ambulance arrived. She died later Friday morning at a local hospital.
And that's how it ended. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Thank God the responding officer is okay. She didn't have a license to drive. She had drugs in her purse. And clearly she knew who this guy who had 6 outstanding warrants on drug charges was. It was his car she was driving illegally. 11:40, be right back. I'm John James.
WSKW, Legacy 1160. Townline Antiques wants to know, what are you shopping for today? Searching for furniture to add to your home? Townline Antiques has beautiful pieces of furniture for every room built to last with quality materials from the past. Thinking of decorating in a classic style? You'll find enchanting home decor, artwork, glassware, and hundreds more items around every corner. Do you love collecting books, comics, coins, sports memorabilia, watches, or classic electronics? Townline Antiques has cool, rare, and one-of-a-kind items to add to your collection that you won't find anywhere else. And if you love searching through treasures of the past, here's more great news. Townline Antiques has expanded with extra booth space. Now there's even more quality antiques to browse every time you visit. Plus, there are a limited number of dealer spaces now available. If you'd like to learn more about selling at Townline Antiques, just stop in. Townline Antiques, open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 to 5, Route 201, right on the Winslow-Vassalboro Town Line.
What's important here at Moody's is we have a lot of opportunity for upward mobility.
Moody's definitely helped me through. They sent me to school. I got my degree in business. I had the demeanor and I had the willpower and the want.
Our trade is constantly changing, and there's always new challenges that arise.
I definitely feel like an owner. It's very exciting.
When you like what you do, you like your job, you like the people you work with, what else could you ask for?
Bring your skills to Moody's and build a long-term future with us.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Mostly sunny but windy and cold today. Below zero wind chills to start this morning with highs only getting into the low 20s and feeling colder with a stiff northwesterly wind continuing. Mostly sunny mid-30s for tomorrow, warming up for the middle of the week. Mid-40s Wednesday, near 50 on Thursday with partly sunny skies.
Freedom's Pep Rally brought to you by Gun Shop on Coney Circle in Augusta. Guns, ammo, accessories. It's all about the accessories, my friend. Especially if you get an AR-15, you want to put some tactical gear on it. I love them. They're very customizable AR-15s, and they're very legal right now, too. They're trying to change that. Dianne Feinstein wants to change that. The evil-looking .22 rifle. Got to get rid of that thing because it looks evil. But right now you can outfit it with all kinds of what we call furniture for your AR-15, and they have a lot of it there at the gun shop, as you might expect. We've got 1143 right now on Legacy 1160 WSKW. And I told you earlier that I would have a piece by J.P. Sears. And I am a little undecided. Do I want to bring that to you? What do we talk? Why don't we talk about immigration? That's more topical right now and more front burner stuff. And I think maybe you haven't heard about some of this. According to CNN, lawyers from the National Center for Youth Law say that kids have not been able to shower or call their parents. But they aren't concentration camps. Jen Psaki will tell you they're much more humane than under the previous administration. But the kids haven't been able to bathe. They haven't been able to call their parents. The team interviewed a dozen children in the government-run tent facility last week. The Border Patrol blocked the group from touring the facility. Of course they did. Transparency, unity, what the heck, that's overrated. That was only the buzzword until the election. What that doesn't mean anything now, you kidding? It's Joe Biden. It's lying Biden. The center's director said the children were terrified, crying, and worried about not being able to talk with family. Some said they hadn't seen daylight in days. These are the kids. These allegations come as concerns mount over the growing number of children in Customs and Border Protection in custody. CBP spokesman said the Border Patrol officials, quote, do everything they can to take care of unaccompanied children in their care. However, a Homeland Security official said last week that the facility in Donna was significantly overcrowded. On Saturday, the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security announced he is directing FEMA to join HHS in helping the Border Patrol. It's come to this. They now need FEMA. That's right. They manage disasters. Well, we didn't have FEMA called in during the Trump administration, I don't believe. Never got that out of control, but, it's much more humane now. Go ahead. Lefties, keep believing what they tell you. Go ahead. Keep believing what they tell you. Because hearing with your ears what they say is certainly more believable than what you can see with your own eyes or what you hear from other sources. God forbid we look at other sources. Right? One report on Saturday claimed that a migrant minor facility was 729%. Yes, 729% over its legal capacity, and that some children were going hungry and only able to shower once a week. Federal law prohibits the government from housing migrant minors in Customs and Border Protection facilities for longer than 72 hours, but it appears as though the Biden administration cannot meet that deadline. Associated Press, meanwhile, reported hundreds of migrant children and teens have been detained at a Texas Border Patrol tent facility in packed conditions. In addition, the AP noted the Biden administration has denied the lawyers access to the facility. Oh, woo, that unity and transparency, that's given me the chills. So righteous. On Saturday, Fox News published exclusive photos of a large outdoor migrant holding facility located underneath what looks like a highway overpass in the Rio Grande Valley sector in Texas. Agents in the Rio Grande Valley sector in Texas are encountering 1,500 migrants a day. They're overwhelmed. This site is near the point of contact after the migrants illegally crossed the Rio Grande River. There, they sort them among family units, unaccompanied minors, and single adults, and they bus them to appropriate destinations. Now, where do you suppose they go? Do you suppose they go back home? No, probably not. Probably not. No, they're future Democratic voters. Why on earth? But don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry, your Democrat elected officials are protected behind their fence and razor wire there in D.C. The wall, no wall to protect the citizens. No. No, we'll let all the illegals in, and we'll keep that razor wire fence up to protect the people who really are important. We know who that is. Well, it's us. It's Chuck U. Schumer. And it's Nancy Pelosi and AOC and Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and Ayanna Pressley. They're the only important ones. Dick Durbin, Dick Blumenthal. Hey, you gotta have them protected with razor wire. We need them to run the country. In February, immigration authorities encountered at least 100,000 migrants attempting to cross illegally into the country. They're estimating more than 125,000 will arrive at the southwest border this month, the highest number in years. And worse, immigration officials expect the number to rise as spring approaches. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Unity. Oh, thank goodness for unity. Chip Roy, you know who Chip Roy is? Chip Roy is a representative. He's only one guy. He may have multiple personalities. Few national policy issues have the long-term impact that immigration does. It determines our future. This is what Dan Stein is not. No, Chip Roy. I'm getting two stories mixed up here. Let's go with Dan Stein, then we'll do Chip Roy, okay? This is all immigration-based. Dan Stein at townhall.com called out irresponsible leadership as it applies to illegal immigration. Dan Stein wrote this: few national policy issues have the long-term impact that immigration does. It determines our future. quality of our schools, livability of our communities, solvency of our government, integrity of our civic culture, cohesion of our traditions and understandings, size of our carbon footprint, health of our infrastructure, equity in our labor force, the visibility of the viability of the rule of law, and just about anything else of importance to the American people. Immigration levels determine whether we can achieve population stability or race toward an unstoppable 1 billion by the end of the century. So nothing is more, and Dan Stein goes on, so nothing is more heartbreaking than to watch critical policy choices being made on a partisan and politicized basis in service of short-term power objectives. A means to an end. Remember, I tell you this all the time, that the only explanation for the Democratic Party's complete abandonment of several, of even the pretense of promoting the public interest on an issue of such importance to our national cohesion. The result is producing a national catastrophe of historic proportions and a train wreck of irresponsible leadership. A failure to uphold the laws of the United States is a serious breach of President Biden's fiduciary responsibility. Dan Stein, Town Hall. Now, Chip Roy. If we don't wear a mask or social distance, we are called killers, un-American, people with no heart. We want to kill our grandparents. Yep, the border, the very thing the government is charged with protecting, is left wide open. We are put in shackles where the border and the illegals are allowed sovereignty, freedom, whatever they want. It's putting us all in peril from foreign enemies for which the government was founded to protect us. That is why, that is their main job, to protect us from enemies, foreign and domestic. That is job one. They're nowhere to be found. No, they're protecting us from ourselves, masking us, closing schools, limiting business, shuttering bars. I don't even think bars are allowed to open yet in Maine. Not till April or something, or May, I don't know. So where's the freedom for Americans? Right where they want it. Non-existent for many. For many. The states that open, Ron DeSantis. We got Mississippi. We've got South Dakota. We've got Texas open. Greg Abbott open Texas. They hate him. They hate all of the Republican governors who are opening their states. 300,000 at a bike rally in Daytona Beach. God bless America. Maybe we'll have 1 million, 2, 10, 20 million Americans say, all right, enough, and rally on the Capitol. What are they going to do? What are they going to do if 10 million people show up, crowding the streets of Washington, D.C., up to the razor wire fence protecting Congress, and start yelling for freedom? What are they going to do? They're going to relent. They're going to relent. They aren't stupid. They aren't dumb. They're going to know at that point that they've gone too far. And they continue to go too far. Biden still hasn't ruled out more lockdowns. Are you kidding me? So Texas Representative Chip Roy, who knows the border, he's close to the border, called out the corruption that is the Biden administration on the House floor. Chip Roy.
Let's talk about some of the real issues going on our border. Uvalde, Texas. The mayor, Don McLaughlin, has said the 2019 border crisis will look like a cakewalk to what is coming with Biden's border crisis. He said they are seeing 10 to 12 high-speed chases each week with speeds up to 105 miles an hour. The local government has to take it on the chin because this administration refuses to secure the border. That is a mayor in Uvalde, Texas, just outside of the district I represent. My friend, Mr. Gonzalez, represents that district. Don calls me all the time saying, where's the help? Where's the federal government whose job it is to secure the border of the United States? You know where it is?
Right.
Nowhere to be found. And in fact, actually found at a border, making it worse for the citizens of this country, making it more dangerous, purposefully or incompetently, either one unacceptably, endangering the lives of Americans and the immigrants who seek to come here.
Right.
Del Rio Mayor Bruno Lozano. I'm pleading and requesting you to please put a halt to any measures regarding the release of immigrants awaiting court dates into the city of Del Rio and surrounding areas. Madam Speaker, the American people are pleading with their leadership. They are begging.
They don't listen
for the
to
people
us.
in this body, the people's house.
They don't care about
to
you.
recognize what is happening to them.
They don't
it's
care.
real. People bury their head in the sand up here, protected by fences with razor wire, walking through magnetometers, tweeting out how they somehow compare or have compassion for immigrants. Look at us.
Yeah.
And this, in this photo, is what is happening to immigrants in South Texas.
He's right.
There are mass graves where cartels kill people along the Rio Grande. There are people dying in the desert, seeking to come here like any normal person would do around the world, seeking to come to the United States of America, but being fed irrational hope from an administration for political purposes, endangering lives of immigrants and American citizens.
Yep.
Yuma, Arizona, Mayor Douglas Nichols. I am urging the federal level for additional resources for United States Customs and Border, the need for more space at migrant holding facilities that will allow for adherence to CDC guidelines, more COVID testing. There is no capacity in our current nonprofit system in Yuma. Our colleague,
thought it was
humane. My friend from Texas, Mr. Cuellar, has said thousands of migrants have not been tested. Over 10,000 people have come in through the lower Rio Grande Valley. Quote, those folks aren't being tested. There are folks, my friends on the other side of the aisle, who recognize what's happening. My colleague, Mr. Gonzalez, sent a letter to Biden requesting a meeting stating, quote, it is imperative we get this situation under control or we are looking at another crisis on our hands. Well, that crisis is here. Citing the large number of unaccompanied children and increased hospital admissions. This is happening right now. Where is the president?
Sleeping.
Where is the Homeland Security Secretary?
Napping.
Where is anyone in this administration?
Kamala doesn't care.
Recognizing the crisis at our border, the death toll, the impact on citizens and immigrants who seek to come here.
Votes. They don't. It's a hard lesson to learn. This is tough love, leftists. But the party of you doesn't care about you or any of us. Power, control, money, and their future. That's what they care about. Kamala Harris is a poster child of opportunism, and everybody celebrates her as a glass ceiling shattering power woman. Wake up. Mike Violette's back here tomorrow morning at 6. I will see you tomorrow morning at 9. And I will be back on video at some point for a half-hour Freedom's Pep Rally. I'm thinking later today, there won't be a lot of warning probably. Maybe a minute or so, or maybe I'll post ahead of time. but we hopefully are going to get that going today and certainly this week. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, as always, for being there. I'm John James.
WSKW, Legacy 1160.
Hi, I'm Greg from Gregory's Disposal. Dumpsters, dumpsters, dumpsters. Call Gregory's Disposal, 465-4500. We can help. Cleaning out Grandma's attic, or if the kids finally moved out, leaving